As an organisation, we've been quite involved in flood recovery across the region through some teams of tradespeople partnering with Resilient Lismore to do home repairs, essential home repairs. But on top of that, obviously we're looking at also the vulnerable groups in the community that our service, our organisation provides a service for, so particularly those who are homeless and the lower socioeconomic group of people that would be, you know, living in low-cost rentals in North and South Lismore where it's particularly flood affected. So I think the core thing for me is using the existing relationship and rapport that we have with our clientele that access our service, and using that as the conversation starter to say, hey, have you thought about strategies you might start to put in place now ahead of a next potential disaster? We've done a lot of thinking about the evacuation of our own building and preparing for that well in advance, but for people who are vulnerable, who may not be as connected technologically to, you know, all the alerts from the Bureau of Meteorology and so on, SES alerts and so on, they can be quite socially isolated in those events. So helping them to think through ahead of time how they can be better equipped to take care of themselves and what their resources are available to them. Again, probably just some practical next steps to piece it together, like a lot of great information, but if it's kind of all still abstract, just to try and get that abstract information and knowledge into some concrete steps so that we start to make some tangible kind of plans, you know, actually ready to activate. You know?
Wow, so important to be here. Like, we should all be here. Everyone that's working in recovery, preparedness, resilience sector. Our community is particularly focused on preparedness. How do we prepare for disasters? And I'm really interested in this capability approach that looks at accessibility. So we're looking at people not just as having a disability or not having a disability, but something that's accessible for everyone. So I was just really interested to see the work that Michelle and the team are doing and how we can bring that into our work in the Shire. Well, firstly, I want to join the working group or the group of council staff that are working with Michelle to see what council's role is. So I'm still unclear on what our role is in bringing this into how we can best bring it into our community. So many takeaways. Just a reminder about the person-centred approach is that you can't separate someone as having a disability, not having a disability. We just all have different support needs at different times. Some have them more long-term, some have them now and then, and we just need to factor that person-centred approach into our work. Look, I think the conversations that happen on the side are the most important part, actually. There's a lot of networking and connecting and scheming and plotting and questioning and hearing what other councils are doing and other services are doing, and this is, I think, what inspires us in our work to, you know, you go back to the office and you feel more like empowered and inspired, and yeah, it's great.
So what made me decide to come to this event in Northern Rivers today is two reasons. One, I was asked by Dr. Michelle Villeneuve to come and co-present with her today. And the second reason is that both my grandparents grew up in this area. So coming back to the Northern Rivers, where I used to come for holidays and all that sort of thing, is like coming home again. What I've taken out of it is how passionate Northern Rivers are about being proactive by just beginning those conversations to engage in the community and start talking about the P-CEP workbook. I will take home with me, it's really important that we continue to get the P-CEP message out there right across the sector, not just for people with disabilities, but also people in my age care. And when we talk about the capability wheel like we have today, the capability wheel is something that everybody can use in every emergency.
I'm glad I was here. It was a great day connecting with the local services. I don't know the disability sector very well, so it was a very informative day. I think the biggest learning from today was the importance of communicating and connecting with the services and information sharing.
We have emergency response plans. We have everything done from a corporate perspective, but not necessarily from a person-centred perspective. So my takeaway from today is that each one of our clients will be having input into their own P-CEP. So I'm very excited about what's going forward for Coringa. I'm just really excited to go home and go through the booklet and go big fat highlighted circles around everything, so yeah.
Getting to know the P-CEP plan more intimately and just bouncing ideas off other people and hearing other people's stories. Yeah, just understanding the trauma people have gone through with the floods. Yeah, and we're all one big community. Not just learning the big things, but learning like the little interesting things, networking, getting to talk to other people. And just excited that we're talking about preparedness. I think because of climate change, we're going to be expecting more fires, more floods, more often, and they're going to be more intense. So we just need to be ready for tomorrow.